Hey girl, what's going on? My name is Ryan, for those of you that do not know, and I do a monthly Bible study here online, but I also do it in person for my Nashville ladies. So if you live in the area and you want to get more involved, go follow us on our other socials. Send us a message, DM us, whatever it is, so that we can get you plugged in. I would love, love, love to meet you and hang out with you once a month. But it's already August. How crazy is that? And by the time October hits, it's basically just one giant holiday, and then it's New Year's. And speaking of New Year's, how many of you guys have stuck to this year's New Year's resolution or goal? If you have, drop it in the comment section, because I would love to go back and read those. For me personally, I'm struggling. I think typically I set a ton of goals and resolutions that I want to accomplish in a year, and they just start to fall off one by one starting at the end of January. And I don't know why that happens. Why do you guys think that happens? Why do you think we give up on our goals so quickly? I know for me personally, I think it's because I'm setting unrealistic goals and expectations on myself. And the moment I miss a day or it starts to get hard, I get frustrated with myself, and so I just quit completely. But I came across this passage in 1 Corinthians 9. It's verses 24 through 26. It says, "Don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will one day fade, but we do it for an eternal prize. So run with a purpose in every step." Verse 24, one more time. "Don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? Run to win." As a Christian, as a believer, a mother, a wife, a friend, whatever my role, I want to win. If there was a prize at the end of every single month for whatever your role or roles might be, wouldn't you want to be the best? I know I would. I would want to win a prize for every single one of my roles. I want to be the best. And God's word says that He wants us to do everything as if we're doing it for Him. We're supposed to be glorifying Him. And how do we do that? How do we win? First, I think it's important for us to know that this race that we're running isn't a competition, and that there can be multiple winners. In fact, I pray and I hope that there are multiple winners, because this race, we're not running this race for an earthly prize. I don't want a medal. I don't want a trophy. I just want to finish the race, right? I want that eternal prize. And how many people do you think start training for a marathon or for a race and they give up because things came up, or they got distracted, or life just happened, right? I know I told myself I wanted to run a 5K by the fall, and I've ran 3 times since June, and honestly with no intentions to run anymore, because life gets busy. You get distracted. Problems come, problems go. I have a husband and kids and a church and friends. Life gets so chaotic sometimes. But you can't give up on your calling. You're still running this race whether you want to or not. This race that we're running, it's not optional. And I want to win, and I want you to win with me. And thankfully, I've surrounded myself with friends who hold me accountable. I won't say their names, but they're texting me and they're saying, "Hey, there's this race coming up. It's a 5K. Sign up for it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You said you wanted to. You're going to do it." And that's awesome. I'm so thankful for them. And yes, I can sign up, but that doesn't mean that I'm ready for it. That doesn't mean I'm going to win, right? And let's be honest, it's one step at a time. It's one day at a time. And we can't do it with just accountability alone, right? We've got to start training. We've got to get prepared. So the first thing we got to do is we've got to train. We've got to discipline our bodies. We've got to prepare. When you run a race, typically you start off running smaller miles. Like day one, I'm probably only going to run half a mile to a mile. And then, I'll work my way up. In the next few weeks, I'll be running 3 miles. And then so on and so forth. And you're going to stretch. You're going to eat right. You're going to drink a lot of water. because running is physically taxing on the body, but it's also a mental battle as well. You've got to prepare mentally. And the race that we're running is the same way. We have to train and we have to prepare for it. Stretching your mind, reading the word, praying, asking God to help you be intentional every single day. I don't know what just fell, but we're going to keep going. That opens up the door for God to use us. When you start your day off with the intentionality, it kind of shifts your focus off of your to-do list and it shifts it onto more godly things. That to-do list is going to come and go. That to-do list is always there. It's never going anywhere. You may finish it all today, but guess what? Tomorrow has more. And so, yes, get that done, but be intentional with it. Like, you still have a calling, you still have a purpose, and you can do that while accomplishing this to-do list as well. Because I know, when you start a race, if you start off incorrectly, the rest of your race is going to be affected. If your breathing is off, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get irritated, you're going to start to cramp up, and it's going to ruin your run. And it's the same thing with your day. If you start your day off without God, your peace, your joy, your grace, all of that's going to be affected. You have to train and you have to be prepared. This run is not optional. Today is going to happen whether you want it to or not. And you have to get started. You have to run. So let's remember to pace ourselves, right? Focus on your breathing. If you overdo it, it's going to keep you from running the next day. But when you focus and when you pace yourself and you focus on your breathing, that's going to help you in your current run, the run that you're running right now. So don't be like me. Don't set unrealistic goals for yourself, because that will just discourage yourself and lead you to giving up. My Hey Girls, for instance, I said that I was going to do 3 a week, then I pushed it to 5 a week, and then I said, you know what? No, I'm going to do it every single day. No, life is crazy. I have a lot going on. That's unrealistic for me, and it was unrealistic, and that's why I don't do them anymore. I gave up. I stopped. And you just got to remember, it's one step at a time. It's one day at a time. If you miss a day or you're slacking, just pick it back up and keep going. It's that consistency. Consistency is key. If you're not reading at all, read a verse a day. Say a small prayer. If you are reading every day, maybe step it up a notch and read an extra chapter or an extra verse and say a more intentional prayer. Pray more throughout the day. Whatever it is that you have to do, but stay consistent. You're always growing. Somebody who trains for a marathon doesn't just get up and run a marathon, right? They get up, they run a mile one day, they run 2 miles the next day. Maybe they're running a 3K by, the end of the month. And then from a 3K, it's a 10K, 10K to a half marathon to a full marathon. That takes years for some people. We're not all running the same speed. Just stay consistent. Just keep running. You've got to pace yourself. And if you're midway through, you're midday, don't get distracted. Stay focused. It's so easy to let the distractions of other people and other things steal your joy and move your focus onto things that don't need it, right? We're not focusing on that to-do list. We're not focusing on these tasks. We're focusing on our calling and on our purpose, and we're getting that done along the way. That's not where our focus is. Our focus is on God. Our focus is on whatever He's calling us to do. And when you're running, you have to be intentional in the midst of that run. You have to protect yourself from what you're letting in, because those thoughts are going to come up that I can't do this. This is too hard. It's too hot. I'm exhausted. I'm going to die. All of those negative thoughts are going to linger, and I'm done letting those negative thoughts distract me. I'm running this race to win. I am running with a purpose. God calls me to be more like Jesus. I'm loving people. I want to produce the fruit of the Spirit. I want to be kind. I want to be generous. I want to be joyful. I want to be patient. I want to show people grace and mercy and love. Like, I want to be more like Jesus. And when you allow those negative thoughts to distract you, it's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your attitude. And that is going to ruin your day. And It's just like not focusing on your breathing when you're running. It's going to ruin the run. You have to stay focused. You have to breathe, and you can't give up. I have had many runs where I've stopped early, and I enjoyed it. I was like, this is great. I can catch my breath. I feel so much better. But I hate how that made me feel afterwards. You either do it or you don't, but you always feel better and more accomplished when you do it, when you complete what you put your mind to. And it's the same thing with helping someone. It might be inconvenient in the moment, but it's always worth it at the end. And then this is the big one. Who are you running with? I know sometimes I'll run with a friend, and the moment it starts to get hard, she wants to quit. No, you have to keep running. You don't stop right when things get hard, although I know I just said earlier, I do. I'm working on it. These Bible studies are not just for you guys, they're for me too. They're my own personal convictions. I say that every single time. But no, you don't stop. You keep running. You encourage them. You push them to be better. I want them to win too. So, you can teach them how to pace themselves. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpens iron as one friend sharpens another. You grow together. You have the hard conversations. You teach each other what you need to do to keep moving. Like you're there for one another. And if they decide to stop, you don't stop. You don't give up. You keep running. You're running to win this race. Because like the scripture above, it says, everyone runs, but not everyone wins. We can try to bring people with us, but not everyone is going to run with us. Not everyone's going to make it. I know when I run with Tyler, there are times I want to stop, and Tyler pushes me to keep going, and he always reminds me, pace yourself, focus on your breathing, but don't stop. Keep going, keep moving. And so midway through your day, if you feel like quitting or giving up, you have to remember that. Pace yourself. Focus on God. Run with people that are going to push you to be better and grow you. And you've got to remember, the prize isn't first place. The prize is finishing the race and hearing, well done, my good and faithful servant. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.